Breaking news. The relationship between the United States and Russia has always been important in global politics. Since World War II, these two nations have been at the center of many of the tensions and conflicts that have shaped international politics. From the Cold War to today, the actions of these two superpowers affect the entire world. The fall of the Berlin Wall and the collapse of the Soviet Union marked the end of an era, but not the end of tensions. Today, tensions are rising once again. NATO military exercises and Russian military parades are just two examples of how these tensions are playing out. Former US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin have clashed on several issues. Their meetings, like the Helsinki summit in 2018, have been key moments in the relationship between the two countries. These issues include economic policy, global security, and economic sanctions that have impacted both countries. Trade negotiations and international economic forums are places where these tensions are discussed and sometimes made worse. And the future of the international order. Meetings of the United Nations Security Council and global military bases show the struggle for geopolitical influence. This essay will examine the growing rivalry between the United States and Russia, focusing on the economic and security implications of this power struggle. We will analyze how economic sanctions, cyber threats, and military strategies are shaping the future of international relations. One of the most controversial topics in recent years has been Trump's threat to put tariffs on countries that move away from using the US dollar in international trade. Trump said this was necessary to protect the dominance of the dollar and to punish those looking for alternatives. This protectionist stance has caused concern within the international community. Some experts argue that such a move could trigger a global trade war. They believe that it would ultimately harm the US economy by making imported goods more expensive for American consumers. The rise of the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, poses a significant challenge to the established global order. These nations, with their vast natural resources, huge populations, and rapidly growing economies, are shifting the balance of power in the world. These countries represent a large portion of the world's population and a growing share of the global economy. With over 3 billion people, the BRICS encompass almost 40% of the global population and contribute significantly to global GDP. They are increasingly assertive in their pursuit of alternative economic and political systems that do not rely on the US dollar or US-led institutions. They are exploring new forms of trade and cooperation that reflect their own interests and priorities. The BRICS nations have established their own financial mechanisms. These mechanisms are designed to provide stability and financial support to their members, reducing reliance on Western financial institutions. These include the New Development Bank, NDB, and the Contingent Reserve Arrangement, CRA. The NDB finances infrastructure and sustainable development projects, while the CRA offers a financial safety net for member countries during times of crisis. These institutions offer alternatives to the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank, which are seen as dominated by Western powers. Through these initiatives, the BRICS aim to create a more balanced and fair financial system that better reflects the diversity and needs of the developing world. Russia, in particular, has emphasized the role of BRICS in global security. Putin sees the group as a counterbalance to what he perceives as Western hegemony. He has called on BRICS members to work together to combat terrorism, extremism, and cross-border crime. Russia is also seeking to strengthen ties with countries in the global south. Its goal is to build a global majority that can challenge the dominance of the West. The dollar versus the yuan. The rivalry between the United States and Russia is also playing out in the economic realm. The Chinese yuan is gaining ground as a global reserve currency. This challenges the historical dominance of the US dollar. The rise of the yuan is being fueled by China's economic growth and its increasing role in global trade. China has also taken steps to internationalize its currency, such as promoting the use of the yuan in trade settlements and investment. Expert opinions on the dollar's future. In this section, we will explore the diverse perspectives of economists and financial analysts on the future of the US dollar. Experts are divided on the long-term implications of these developments. Some analysts firmly believe that the dollar will maintain its dominant position on the global stage. Some believe that the dollar's status as the world's reserve currency is secure. They argue that the US economy remains the largest and most sophisticated in the world, providing a solid foundation for the dollar. They argue that the US economy remains the largest and most sophisticated in the world. Additionally, they highlight political stability and technological innovation as key factors underpinning the dollar's strength. They also point to the depth and liquidity of U.S. financial markets. Others are less optimistic. These experts suggest that there are several challenges that could threaten the dollar's supremacy. They warn that the United States' growing national debt, its declining share of global production, and its increasingly unpredictable foreign policy could erode confidence in the dollar. Furthermore, they mention competition from other emerging currencies and the growing interest in cryptocurrencies as potential factors that could reshape the global financial landscape. A multipolar world order. The rising tensions between the United States and Russia are indicative of a broader shift in the global balance of power. The world is moving away from a unipolar system dominated by the United States towards a more multipolar order. In this new order, power is distributed more evenly among a number of key players, such as the United States, China, Russia, the European Union, and India. Implications for global security. This shift has profound implications for global security. The absence of a single hegemon creates a more complex and unpredictable security environment. Regional powers are more likely to assert themselves, leading to increased competition and conflict. The risk of miscalculation and escalation is also heightened in such an environment. Implications for the global economy. The economic implications of this power struggle are equally significant. A move away from the US dollar as the world's reserve currency could lead to instability in financial markets. It could also reduce the United States' ability to finance its budget deficit and to impose economic sanctions. On the other hand, a more multipolar economic order could lead to greater competition and innovation, which could benefit consumers and businesses worldwide. The future of international relations. The rivalry between the United States and Russia is just one aspect of a much larger transformation in international relations. The rules-based international order that emerged after World War II is under strain. The rise of nationalism, populism, and protectionism is challenging the principles of free trade, multilateralism, and global cooperation. A new era of global uncertainty. The world is entering a new era of uncertainty. The outcome of the power struggle between the United States, Russia, and other rising powers will have a profound impact on the future of global politics, economics, and security. Whether this new era will be characterized by conflict or cooperation remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: the stakes have never been higher.